for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk.
You're listening to Reignite, a podcast about the role hate plays in our lives. I'm Frankie.
And I am Maddie K. Stormageddon.
While out for a walk with our friends, we are attacked by slavers on a mission to capture Fenris. Once we finish them off, we find out that Hadriana, Daenerys' apprentice, is the one who launched the offensive, and she is set up in holding caves nearby. In order for Fenris to continue living a life of freedom, Hadriana must be dealt with.
Yeah, I think I hinted at this last episode, but if not, Frankie definitely, I and Frankie talked about this off air. While I was doing Aveline's mission, I went to the wrong, boring outside location, since they all look the same and are named
I don't think you
names.
did go to the wrong location because you get derailed no matter what if you have Fenris in your party.
Oh, okay, then that's what happened. Yeah, so I had put Fenris back in my party because I kept putting Aveline in my party and she kept leaving, and I got annoyed. And I was like, well, if you're just going to leave, then you're not invited anymore. I'm just going to go without you. And so I added Fenris to my party because he's been my tank through most of the game, this playthrough. And I got immediately attacked right away. And I went, oh, no, what the hell? And so I literally, the same week I was taking notes for last episode, I took notes for this, just the ambush and like what happens. And then was like, well, I guess I'll continue that next time. So yeah, I didn't realize the minute you put him back in your party after a period of time, you just get attacked wherever you go. And so
yeah, it's if you take him outside of Kirkwall.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, I triggered this mission a little early by accident.
Yeah. So no matter what, if you go somewhere outside of Kirkwall, the city, whether you're going to Sundermount, whether you're going to the Wounded Coast, you get stopped by slavers who are after Fenris, and they demand that you release the elf or return the elf or whatever, or return the slave. They don't even bother calling him an elf. What was your immediate response to these slavers?
Did you get an option to fight them or not? I just fought them. I can't recall getting an option.
Well, you have a dialogue option. Your dialogue options are declaring Fenris a free man, suggesting that you can come to some sort of understanding, or just straight on being like, fuck you, you're dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I pretty sure whenever I deal with slavers in this game, I just go, fuck you, you're dead. And that's probably what I did.
That's valid. I did shout Fenris is a free man. But no matter what you say, I believe Fenris's response is, I'm not a slave, and he initiates the attack. So I don't think what you actually say matters here. I was just curious what approach you took. I leaned towards being like, fuck you, he's not a slave. And then we're going to fight, but I'm going to make my point known first.
Yeah, which is fair. I mean, I think I could have chose either one of those options, but I'm pretty sure the reason I don't remember, because I didn't write it down, I just wrote ambush, is because no matter what, when I know I'm dealing with slavers, I just kill. Oh, so good. I literally just kill them because they're slavers and they deserve to die.
Which is fair. I was planning on fighting them regardless. I wasn't going to try and cut a deal with them.
Right.
Once we kill all of these guys, there is one remaining that Fenris marches up on. They are lying prone, not entirely knocked out, not entirely dead, but they are defeated.
Yeah.
Right? And Fenris takes him, takes his head in his hands and starts to bash his face against the ground, demanding to know where Daenerys is. And the man says, I don't know where he is. I swear to you, I don't know where he is. Hadriana brought us here. Hadriana is the one that planned this. She's nearby. She's in these caves. I told you what you wanted to know. Please let me go. I'm begging you to spare my life. And Fenris does not spare his life.
Nope.
Fenris declares you chose the wrong master and snaps the man's neck.
Yep.
What was your feeling about this?
conflicted. So this puts Hawk in a position of, like, this is trauma held deep by someone else that you are witness to. You cannot experience what they have experienced. Well, that's not completely true. As a mage Hawk, I have experienced a similar kind of like hate and aggression, but I was never a slave in the same way that Fenris was. And so initially it's visceral, but like I also kind of understand where Fenris is coming from. Like, I don't know that I would go as far as he's going, but his rage is justified after what he's been through. I think how he articulates his rage isn't always justified, and we'll get to that later. But I think in this moment, while I don't agree with his actions, I understand why he took them.
Right. I think I am in the same boat. I don't agree with killing this person that is begging for their life. They were not complicit directly in the abuse that Fenris suffered. They are someone who was hired to do a job. And sometimes you take money from wherever you can get your money, right? And we don't know this person's life. We defeated them. Their ass is beaten. What do we prove by killing someone who is defenseless at this point? And that is my personal feeling. But as you say, it's not really our call. Fenris has been through something that we have not personally experienced, whether as the humans that we are or as the Hawks that we embody. We have experienced trauma, both Hawks and ourselves. And no, I believe that the argument there are children starving in Africa is a bullshit argument, because someone else's suffering does not diminish your suffering.
Right.
Not all suffering is equal, but also, like, no one gets to hold their suffering over your suffering, right? So we're kind of in this tricky situation with Fenris where he has all of this pain and this hurt and this hatred built up inside of him, and we can relate to that to a degree. Your Hawk more so than my Hawk, because my Hawk has not suffered through the marginalization of being a mage. If anything, it's marginalization by association, but still, there has been trauma. So I wish there was an option to say to Fenris, I don't think that was necessary. But we don't really get that option. Our options are we go after them, telling Fenris to calm down, or saying they're dead. I wasn't sure if saying that would be saying we go after them and, like, we kill them, or if it was saying we have already killed them, like, we won. So I wasn't quite sure. I chose we go after them because Fenris is right to be upset. Our last conversation with him indicated that he was ready to settle into a life, but this disruption proves to him that the little voice in his head that there is no escape is true.
Yeah, I mean, I said the same thing, that we'll go after them. And yeah, I mean, it's easy for someone to appear paranoid if they keep thinking someone's out to get them, but when someone shows up to get them, they seem less paranoid. Like, he is definitely, there is a level of paranoia with Fenris, without a doubt, 110%. But when things like this keep happening, some of that paranoia is absolutely justified because he is being attacked. People are still looking for him.
Right. It's only paranoia if everyone isn't out to get you.
Right. Yes.
So as far as we know, everyone is out to get him. So we head off to these holding caves, and Fenris tells us to be careful because these caves were built to defend against raids from other slavers, which is a fun piece of lore.
Yay.
I chose to say Hadriana won't escape us. And I brought Anders and Varric along.
Yeah, I chose to also. This is one of those rare missions where when you enter the mission, if you don't have the right part members, or if you do, it still makes you reassign just because it is required to have Fenris. That's because some of these companion quests don't require you to have the companion with them. You can do some, there are a few that you can do without them entirely, which I don't understand why you would. And so I took Sebastian and Anders because I was trying to work Sebastian into more of my missions just because I didn't use him a lot in the past and I want to see what he has to say. I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point in the story.
I have to start hanging out with Isabella more, and I think that's what I'm going to start doing in future missions. Not from a meta standpoint, just because, like, we haven't hung out.
Yeah, I mean, I love Varric. There's no denying that he's one of my favorite characters in the franchise, but I also know on a meta level that I have an entire other game to hang out with him at least, since he is in Inquisition as also a companion character. So whereas in Veilguard he plays more of just a side character role. He's not in your party. So
he is my bestie. I just can't.
He's awesome.
Not bring my bestie.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, that's why a lot during this playthrough it's been a healer and 2 rogues, or a healer and or 2 mages and a rogue, or what. Like I'm doing odd combinations because I care more.
Who needs
about
a tank?
I know. I care more about the characters who are with me than the party makeup. So
that'll be fine. So as soon as we walk in, there is a blood sacrifice there on the table to illustrate Fenris's point that mages cannot be trusted. They will resort to all manner of brutality in order to expand their power, which is a fun thing to say in front of a couple of mages.
Yeah, more on that in a bit, but yeah, not great.
Minor complaint about the dungeon, as always. If I can't go that way, then why do we have that door?
Yeah, the problem with the maps in this style of dungeon, it's similar to one of the dungeons in the Tig earlier in the game where like there are doors and the doors open typically in 2 directions. And the layout of the map implies that there's a hallway you can go down, but when you get to that door, it won't open. It's because this map is designed to bring you in kind of a circle and back and forth as you are supposed to like hit a dead end and then backtrack and loop around. And it's just, I
didn't get that experience. I didn't feel like there were dead ends. I felt like it was very straightforward. Like you were always progressing on, but there were just these doors that you couldn't go through. But there was always an open door.
No, there was always an open door. But what I'm saying is that the layout of the dungeon is just set up in a way that certain doors won't open, even though it looks like it's a path you can take. And it's very frustrating. And that's the design of this style of dungeon. And it's not the first or the last time we'll experience it. What?
You need to be marveled by the level of restraint I just showed to not start singing Love is an Open Door.
Uh-huh.
Because, oh boy, was it strong.
Okay.
I just don't want to get sued by the mouse.
I mean, we can't get sued for a cover. You can only get sued for copyright.
You think the mouse is going to, like, not try?
I mean, the mouse doesn't listen to this podcast. This podcast has almost nothing to do with Disney.
I bet the mouse listens to our podcast.
Uh-huh. Depends on who the mouse is.
If you're the mouse and you listen to our podcast, say hi. Anyway, nothing too remarkable about the dungeon itself other than the complaint that there are these paths that we can't go down. We do encounter a young woman who is distressed. Hadriana killed her father for more blood magic because she is afraid of Fenris coming to kill her. And Anders chimes in and says that this is the result of a demon and there's nothing human left in Hadriana. Which, like, yeah, my man knows what he's talking about. But this poor girl, she's so innocent, which I feel is a common narrative in slave stories. People who were raised in slavery, they don't know any better, which Fenris communicates because she says everything was fine until today. And he says it wasn't. You just didn't know any better. What did you do when presented with her resolution?
So, yeah, a few things about this that lead to the resolution I chose. Like, it's very interesting here to see someone who is a former slave and who is a current slave or servant, depending on how, I guess, you look at it. like, it's very interesting, right? Fenris is saying that you are not living a good life. You think you are, but you're not. But from her perspective, she's fed, she's housed, she's clothed, she has a good relationship, seemingly, with these people. So, like, to her, it seemed like nothing was wrong because it's the only life she's ever known, right?
Right.
It sounds like she was sold into slavery with her father in this.
My impression is that she was raised in it.
Okay. That
I
also
do
would
not
make
get
sense.
I do not get the impression that anyone who was sold into it and was free before would
Yeah.
be quite so complacent about the role that they play in this system. My guess is that she was raised as a slave with her father.
Which would make sense, but also implies then that maybe, like, how is where's only mentions her father, not her mother. Does that mean one of the slavers is her mother? Like, where
No, no,
does
no,
the
no. I
no?
don't think that's open for interpretation at all.
Okay.
I think that the important people here are this girl and her father. The
Right.
question of her mother, I don't think we need to answer. Maybe she died in childbirth. Maybe she
Maybe.
died before. Maybe she was separated from the family.
Right.
Who really knows? I don't think that we need to theorize that maybe she was above this station.
Okay.
I don't think that would really make sense in the lore and also with what we know about real world slavery.
Right. I guess the main thing that I come back to here with this is, like, we have Fenris saying that she should be unhappy, that this is terrible, you're experiencing a terrible thing, and she doesn't see it. She's experiencing the interruption of her life and the shift that's happened as the terrible thing, right? Things were great until now. And Fenris says the line that you mentioned, like, it wasn't, you just didn't know. And so my instinct here, more or less siding with Fenris here, is to give her money so she can go live her own life and escape. I didn't want to kick her to the curb, and to ask her to work for me felt also disingenuous to the cause of freeing these slaves.
So I slightly disagree with you in Fenris's tone, I think. Fenris's response of, it wasn't, you just didn't know any better, was filled with such grief
Yeah.
of, like, you are so deep in it that you can't see what is really happening all around you.
Right.
And I think he finds that terribly sad.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry, the way that you had phrased it, I thought that you were saying that he was being more assertive. Like, no, you're not supposed to be happy. Like, you were not supposed to be happy in that situation. And, like,
No.
more angry about it.
No, I mean, I think there's a deep anger no matter what, but yeah,
Right.
He takes a more mournful tone with this person because he feels sorry for them.
Yeah. So I chose, hey, if you go to Kirkwall, I will provide you with support. Which Fenris immediately sees as, oh, acquiring a slave today, are we? To which I say, no, I'm giving her a job.
Yeah.
Like, I'm paying her for work. So that way, my reasoning for doing this is that you tell this girl to run, she has absolutely nothing but the clothes on her back. You give her money and tell her to go. Yes, she has money, but she has absolutely no street sense. She's going to get robbed the second she leaves this cave. Because she's going to be looking for something to replace what she has known her entire life. So she's just going to fall right back into these old patterns. And I don't think that's very helpful to her. Whereas if I offer her support, I'm showing her a different way of living and creating opportunity for her to build her confidence.
That makes sense. I guess for me, the reaction that Fenris actually had was the ire I was worried about inflicting, but also my logic of giving her coin is it's not like there isn't an alienage full of elves that she could go to and hopefully find work, help, camaraderie. That was my logic, is if I give her money to get started, she can go to the alienage and find a somewhat stable, if not still hard, way of life, at least in Kirkwall.
I think that's a fair point of view. I am not very confident that she could do that because are there alienages in Tevinter?
I mean, who the hell knows? I don't
Right?
think so.
I don't think so. I think any elves in Tevinter are de facto slaves.
Probably. I don't really know. I can't say.
I'm not 100% on the lore. I'd have to do some research on it, but I'm fairly certain that that is the main issue that elves have with Tevinter.
Right.
Because as we saw in Dragon Age Origins, Tevinter mages came to the alienage in Denerim to buy slaves.
Right.
So that is my opinion on that. I was not confident that she would be able to even know what the alienage was. So by giving her a place to go, I can ensure her safety. I can provide for her in a way that is practical and not creepy or predatory.
Yeah.
Also, I think there might be a difference as well from our perspectives as a masculine presenting character versus a feminine presenting character. Masculine presenting character saying to a young woman, well, you can work for me, carries some implications, which not true in our case, but there is this kind of power dynamic that you have to be even more thoughtful of.
For sure. And I think also, again, I am putting more faith in this person, even though they didn't seem dumb. They might seem a little naive, but they didn't seem unintelligent. So I feel like I was more inclined to trust them because I saw that and was like, I think if I give you a way out, you'll take it. Understanding what you know now.
I just saw her as too innocent and too caught up in the world that she was raised in to know much of any other world. So I saw her as someone who needed a bit more guidance to find her footing and find, her own way. So Fenris at first angry, but when I told him, like, no, I hired her, like, I'm going to give her money for her work, was immediately took it back 10 notches and was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, that's
anyway.
We're going to see more of that throughout the rest of this mission. His overreaction and then correction.
Okay. So we progress until we do confront Hadriana. And once Hadriana is down, she tells Fenris that she has information. Fenris has a sister who is alive, and if we let her go, she will tell him where the sister is.
Yeah, and he is, first of all, he is in disbelief, but also not the kind of disbelief that stuns you. Disbelief in basically claiming she's full of shit, and requires Hadriana to do more convincing.
Did you give Fenris leave to control the conversation, or did you put in your own 2 cents?
I let him handle it. This is not my business. Like, as much as I kind of already assumed where it will go, knowing Fenris and how he's taken action before, I also didn't feel comfortable butting in and giving my 2 cents here.
Right. We're here as support. We are the friend that helps make the things happen. In this moment, I did not feel that my opinion was required.
Yeah, correct.
So I put it in Fenris's hands. It's ultimately his decision. And we learned that Verania is a servant, not a slave, which is a very important distinction. It is a higher level. It means that she has a lot more freedom in society.
Yeah.
She has more options available to her. And he gives Hadriana his word that he will not kill her if she tells him. And once she does, he reaches into her chest and crushes her heart.
Yes.
And I am more understanding of him breaking his word to Hadriana than I was about snapping the man's neck, because Hadriana was Daenerys's apprentice. And as we know, Daenerys was abusive towards Fenris, and I think it is a safe assumption that Hadriana participated in the abuse. For Fenris, this is a chance to destroy one of his abusers for good, and unlike the man whose neck he snapped, who had no stake in Fenris's life other than the coin he was paid, Hadriana was a constant factor.
Yeah, I still wish that he would take another path, but understood his rage here more than ever because this was direct impact on his trauma, on what was done to him. And also, Hadriana was not begging for her life and was not harmless. Even defeated, was not harmless, and was looking to barter to weasel her way out. Like, was trying to. It just, there seemed to be less of a genuine innocence or panic here, and more of a like, if I give you this, you'll let me go, right? There was still this like defiance, this
right.
I can't think of the right
and
word.
also, if we let her go, it's so she can come and kill him another day.
Right. There's no way she's gonna ever stop hunting him.
Right. Once Fenris kills Hadriana, there are a couple of conversation beats here. How did you handle these beats?
Well, so after Fenris kills her and you talk to him, he basically goes on a tirade blaming all mages, saying, this is, what would you expect from a mage? This is, I wrote down exactly what he says. It's, oh no, it's what I said. I wrote down what I said. So he's going on about mages and like how they can never be trusted and they're all evil. They'll always resort to blood magic. Of course, Andros has some kind of quippy response.
Yeah. There is a specific thing that Fenris says that triggers that response from Anders, which is, what has magic touched that it hasn't spoiled?
Yeah. And then, of course, Anders has a cheeky response.
I don't remember what it was, but it was cheeky.
No, yeah.
And it was understandably cheeky, I think, because it was like, hello.
Right.
I am standing here helping you kill your abuser.
Right. And then I am given the moment to respond and go, watch what you say about mages. That response triggers Fenris. He's like, I just have to leave. I've got to go. And then absolutely just bounces. He leaves your party and you're left with only...
he left my party as well. Yeah. As you said, Fenris has a lot of fear surrounding his sister, and he wants to have his head on straight because she could be influenced by him. This could be a trap set up by Daenerys. Right. Daenerys could have sent Hadriana and said, put the thought in his head that he has a sibling. It could be a lie.
Right.
Like, maybe Hadriana was given false information. There's too many factors and too many secret machinations out there in the world that Fenris can't account for, and it is just doing his head in.
Yeah.
And I didn't say watch what you say about mages. I said something else that I did not write down, and I forgot what it was. But it was slightly more sympathetic. It was more along the lines of, hey, I'm worried about you. Like, your fears may not all be real.
Right. Yeah, for me, it's whenever I'm presented with an opportunity to defend mages, as I am a mage and my family's mage.
Valid, you are a mage.
Right.
It makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
And I largely defend mages as well. I just didn't feel like this was the moment for my character personally.
Yeah.
So I opted for a more like, you're spiraling.
Yeah.
He does leave because he's struggling emotionally, but we do catch up with him back at our home.
Yeah, the funny thing about this is the mission says, if Fenris left, maybe you should go back to your manor. But because I didn't read the mission, I immediately assumed, I'll just go back to Fenris's house. That's probably where he is. I get there, walk through his entire manor and go, he's not here. I wonder where he is. And then I checked the mission description and went, oh. And then went to the manor.
Yeah. So once we get back to our house, Fenris is there, and he apologizes for taking his anger out on us.
Oh, really important before we finish this conversation. Yes. I forgot to mention that I, of course, got rivalry with him when he stormed off because of my chosen response.
Right. Oh, there was a flirtation option. That's what it was. Did you take any flirtation options?
Yes, but I only got them back at the manor, so.
Oh, okay. I saw them and I ignored them because I'm in a relationship with Anders. Okay. Fenris apologizes for taking his anger out on us. I gave the snarky response of people take their frustrations out on me all the time. And Fenris talks about how he wanted to let her go, or he wanted to be able to do that. I think it's important to distinguish those two things. Like, he wanted to be the kind of person who could make that decision, but he's not. He's too knotted up with hate, and it eats away at him. And he tells us more about Hadriana's abuse, which did not surprise me, honestly. And he talks about how he feels all of this hate, but he doesn't want to be destroyed by it.
Yeah. He basically explains that the reason he is so intent on ending this is he wants to be free of it. He carries this hate everywhere. And even though in his mind he has those moments of, I should do better, I can be better, the hate overwhelms it. He can't fight against it, which sounds hard. I did take this opportunity when we were talking to ask about him, how he's doing, if he's okay. Like when he's apologizing about how he acted, my response is, I understand it though. I don't love those kinds of reactions, but I get it. And I just want to know if you're okay. So I did take the flirting options here. There were 2 of them, which netted me a plus 10 friendship. So we're like, oh, lose a little bit, gain a little bit, lose a little bit, gain a little bit. We'll see where we land in the end.
Yeah. I gained quite a bit in the friendship department, especially by offering the girl a job.
Yeah.
Which Fenris saw as a very good thing to do because it is valuing someone who had not been valued before.
Right.
He says that he needs to leave. You can tell him to stay. I say to him, like, he's not burdening me. We're friends. And he says that he doesn't know what that, like, he's not sure what that is.
Yeah, when he tries to leave, I say, you don't have to. You could stay here. He said that he needs time alone. He thanks you, but then says he does need time on his own.
And then we can go to Fenris's mansion.
Yes.
Did you do that?
I did. I didn't have anything.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't have him drinking the Egregio?
Maybe I did that beforehand because I didn't have that here. I do remember approaching him when drinking, but yeah, I went back to the manor right after and there was nothing.
Interesting. He tells the story about how he escaped because it's the anniversary of his escape. I don't think you got it.
The conversation sounds familiar, but it could be because I've just done it before. But either way, I did not get questioning beliefs now. I went immediately back to his manor and he wouldn't talk to me further, so...
Weird. Maybe because you flirted with him and there's something else going on?
Maybe. Could be. I don't know.
I don't know.
Typically, that's still supposed to happen, but yeah. But anyway, we should discuss it here just in case I get it at a later time.
All right. Well, he's drinking that wine, the Egregio. It's Daenerys' favorite. The wine cellar was full of it, but he is on the last bottle. He was saving it for a special occasion, the anniversary of his escape. He is for sure drunk.
Yeah.
Because he's so boisterous and he sounds like a version of himself that he would like to be.
Yeah.
Like more carefree. And he's like, would you care to hear the story?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I have a story to tell and it's so exciting. But then he tells you the story is actually very sad.
Yes.
There is this island that Tevinter and the Canary are fighting over called Saharan. And Daenerys was escaping Saharan. There was only one spot left on the boat, and Fenris got left behind. So Fenris has to survive this jungle environment where there are Canary soldiers and there are Tevinter mages fighting for control, and Fenris is stuck in the middle. He barely survives. He is found by this group of fog warriors who are rebels. And the fog warriors nurse him back to health. Daenerys finds him with the warriors, and they stand up to him. They refuse to let him take Fenris, because as far as they're concerned, Fenris is a free man. Daenerys tells Fenris to kill them all, and he does. And the way that he describes it is it felt inevitable that he was always going to go back to Daenerys, and there's no point in resisting Daenerys's will.
Yeah.
But after he kills these people who cared for him, who showed him a different way to live, that is the thing that snaps his connection with Daenerys, because he has just done something that he sees as reprehensible, and it is the thing that finally disconnects him.
Yeah.
And he runs.
Yeah.
That is the moment that he takes his escape. And one of the things that he says is that he felt unworthy of continuing on with the rebellion because he killed all of these people who showed him a better way of life, who took care of him, and he felt unworthy of that. My response to him was that this can't be easy to talk about. And he says that he has never told anyone. And perhaps this is what it means to have a friend. And I joked, or too much wine. And it was a very nice moment between friends because he says, I swear this is the last bottle, and may I fight at your side for years to come.
Aw.
It's a very nice moment.
It's very wholesome.
It is. Because I think that telling someone something that traumatic can be a weight off your shoulders.
Sure.
I think it can help. It can heal in a way. Just to have someone listen to you. It's why we go to therapy, right? Yeah. We want someone to listen to our pain and tell us that it wasn't our fault, to tell us to just listen, to just let it be a thing that happened.
Yeah.
And not try to justify it and not try to fix it necessarily, or maybe give us tools so we can fix it ourselves. And I think that is one of the restorative properties of friendship, is being able to tell each other the things that hurt us and for those things to just be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that I wouldn't be the person I am today without being able to share some of my hardest stories with those who care about me, right? It's not healthy, or just like you said, with a therapist, not even your friends. Your friends, of course, too, but your friends can only offer so much help, and they're not impartial, right? They are partial to you, whereas a therapist is paid to be impartial, is to guide you and to listen and to help, but like will approach those past moments and those hardships with an objective lens to try and help guide you through that pain. But either way, talking to someone is absolutely important. I am in therapy. Myself, Matt, am in therapy, and I value it. And I wasn't always. I have had on and off relationship with therapy. I was in therapy for many years when I was at a very low point. And then when it started to feel like every week we were talking about nothing, my therapist and I agreed that we could take a break. And then as things got harder after I lost my dad last year, well, even before that, when he got very sick, Sarah suggested that I find a new therapist. And I'd reached out to my old one at first, but she never responded. And so I found a new one, and that's been very helpful. And now I am talking to him less frequently than I was before, because I feel like we're getting back to that cycle of not having a lot to talk about. But then with the sessions more spaced out, I am gathering more things to talk about, whether it's world stuff or other stuff. And it's endlessly helpful. And I had an unfortunate encounter this week with someone at my day job. I'll keep all of that stuff nameless, joking about how they don't need therapy, that therapy is, for only those who are weak, and like was trying to be funny, but like,
I didn't know my dad came back from the dead to work at your job.
Yeah. And not funny, and like laughing as he's saying it. So clearly he's trying to make a joke. And this is a person who does, for the most part, as far as I can tell, genuinely care about his coworkers and is a kind person, a father, whatever. Just that moment I had to pull back and go, okay, whatever. Like it frustrates me, because that's the mentality of a large portion of this country, that it's a weakness to need therapy. And I have no patience for that. Everyone should be in therapy. Yes, you listening right now should be in therapy. If you're not, everyone, literally every single person should be in therapy.
Just try it.
Yeah, I mean, no, but I'm serious. Everyone can benefit it.
No, I'm with you.
Even if you have the best life in the world, there are things that bother you. There are things that upset you. There are struggles that you've had. Even the richest, most well set up, like well-adjusted person has trauma, has wounds, has problems. Nobody's perfect. And so anyway, I have a very strong feelings about this.
While I 100% agree with you that everybody should at least attempt therapy once in their lives, I do want to point out that there is an element of privilege to having ready access to a therapist
Of
and
course.
having insurance that will cover things, because therapy isn't cheap. It's not
Yeah.
easy. There are resources out there. And if you don't know how to find those resources, it can be really difficult to engage with your mental health. So I just want to make sure that we acknowledge that, because, you know, we would be irresponsible if we didn't.
To clarify, when I say everyone should be in therapy, I mean government funded. You shouldn't be paying for it. Everyone should be in therapy.
Yes. Okay.
Like,
yeah.
that's what I mean. I don't mean that everyone
That's fair. Yes.
should put themselves under and out of house and home to go to therapy. I mean that government should be paying for our healthcare. Government should be paying for our therapy. We should not be paying for any of this. We should pay.
Slow down, Matt. You're gonna get us put on a list.
I mean, we're already on that list.
That's true. That's very, very true and very sad. We have such radical ideas.
I know, right? Like equal rights, and everyone should be treated as a human.
Oh no, Matt, I'm going to fly in 2 days. We can't be saying things like this.
Look, I'm
You're
already
going
here.
to detain me.
Look, I'm already here. The fact that you left was your problem and your decision.
Yeah, it was a good decision.
I mean, yes, but now you're coming back again. Still your choice.
I know. The things I do for family. What else do I want to say? I agree with you that therapy is very important. I'm actually going to be speaking with a counselor soon. One of the downsides of living in a country of free healthcare is that there are waiting times, and it is difficult to get access to certain things. So there is no immediacy. Whereas in the US, there is a slight increase to the urgency. Like, if you have money, you can get what you need, right? So because in health insurance there is so private and money forward, if you can pay for it, you can get it. Whereas here, it's very different. So I have an appointment with a counselor to discuss my recent struggles. And I'm also going to be talking to the head of my department tomorrow about everything that happened as well. So sometimes the person that you need to talk to is not necessarily a therapist. Sometimes it can just be someone who has a little bit more control in the world than you do.
Right.
We're going to be talking about whether I need to file for an extension. We're going to talk about how my now former roommate robbed my house.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how my chronic illness has just gotten worse over the last year. And, you know, things have been hard. And I know that you are also struggling with things being hard, world stuff, dad stuff, life stuff. But you know what? We both have wonderful people in our lives to support us, and we both have outlets for talking about these things, and that's really important.
Yeah, I have so many wonderful people in my life. And I also have Frankie.
This is true. I am a horrible goose.
It's true. You're terrible. You're the worst. See?
Yep.
Funny. I'm funny.
All right, let's move on. We are moving on to fan mail.
Yes, and we have another lengthy response from the one and only Callie. First audio and then written.
Well, hello everyone. Here are Callie's thoughts on episode 24 and Family Matter. Author's note. It was uncanny timing for Callie. It had recently learned that someone they loved had betrayed its trust. Did it have to make them feel unusually vengeful toward Bartrand? Or did it remain as paragon as ever? Is setting up this little mystery too silly? Fun for nobody except itself? One way to find out. Prologue. They appreciated and enjoyed the host's discussion of how difficult interacting with humans can be. It is sometimes amazed it can manage to have relationships with them at all. Definitely some similar anxieties involved, knowing themselves to be rather intense. But managing to finally trust that someone is actually comfortable with the way they are feels wonderful when it happens. Learning to be okay asking people for reassurance helped, but it definitely sometimes still chooses to quietly smother the worry. And now, family matter. Its experience is less extreme, but the host's discussion of real conditions that could parallel what Bartrand is experiencing reminded them of their intrusive thoughts. Those things are no joke. Real intrusive thoughts are disturbing and frightening, sometimes literally sickening. Alas, not just any healer can help Bartrand. Hawk cannot. Anders being there adds considerable depth to the story. Without Anders present, Varric simply demands to kill Bartrand. But despite him nearly killing us and everything he did here, it still did not even consider revenge. As Hawk says, truly sounding like Callie, he has to be stopped. There are other ways than murder. That said, mercy is not forgiveness. As the host said, forgiveness takes time, and they would add that it is optional, not a required part of moving forward with one's life. Mercy may be one of its most closely held values, but it has long had the opinion that forgiveness is vastly overrated. It was fun to hear from Varric about his love of storytelling. Always nice to have found people who share in that. And so I can get back on schedule, here are some quick thoughts on episode 25 and The Long Road. After bringing the package to Donick, a red dialogue option gave me an excellent exchange in which I ask him to tell me this was not a waste of my time, and he responds, "I can't do that." I appreciate his honesty. It would have been much more my style to immediately tell Donick that Aveline was interested and refuse to be involved further. Much as I enjoy helping people, getting dragged into this was mostly just annoying, and I despise dishonesty. If someone did to me what Aveline does to Donick, I would politely tell them that we cannot even be friends after that. The post-quest conversation got me yet more rivalry points with Aveline, though we are still on the blue side for now. I did not take kindly to her suggestion that maybe folks who conduct independent heroics need to be more tightly controlled, and she felt offended by me saying that sounds like a step onto a dangerous slope of oppression. The downside of being immune to crushes and disinterested in dating is that I have no awkward and retrospectively amusing stories about these things. Skipping over a part that I do not feel like speaking aloud, but if anyone out there ever feels envious of Aeroaces, remember that we are only mostly invincible. I very much feel for Frankie's friend who had a bad experience dating a friend and being betrayed. I hope she recovers soon and quickly finds whatever way forward feels best for her. And Frankie, it sounds like you handled that situation with the lady from the bar very well, though the answers at the end sound frustrating. Matt, your story about thinking you did not want another romantic relationship and still stumbling into one was amusing and cute. Thank you both for sharing. As always, many thanks to Matt, aka DJ_Stormageddon, and to Frankie for taking the time and effort to make Reignite. And remember, we are every day making history with our actions and with the stories we share. Do not let history forget that all Templars... Actually, I want to take this a step further. We need to abolish the Templars.
I'm not going to read the whole thing
Yeah.
because Callie writes us very thoughtful and robust messages, which I do love reading, but I hate reading out loud.
And also, we want to encourage folks to join the Discord and join in the conversation there because it's
Then
much...
you can read everything Callie has to say.
Correct.
So I just want to read this part about being Arrow Ace because, I think it's relatable. The downside of being immune to crushes and disinterested in dating, I have no awkward and retrospectively amusing stories to tell about these things. But in the spirit of sharing and attempting to commiserate or relate, I am a relationship anarchist, and recently someone I loved in an uncategorized way did still manage to create a situation disgustingly similar to a breakup. After betraying my trust, even, quote, just barely friends is tenuous. If anyone ever feels envious of Arrow Aces, remember that we are only mostly invincible. One of my partners, this is Frankie speaking now, not Callie. One of my partners is aromantic, which makes for an interesting relationship dynamic. I am full romantic. I am 100%. I have feelings about everything all the time, and they are mostly romantic. And when we have to talk about feelings things, he tries very hard.
Well, that's all you can really ask.
He tries so hard. And he's always concerned about the fact that he doesn't feel romantic love. And he's like, I just don't want that to be a thing that hurts you. And I keep having to tell him that the way that he loves doesn't need to be romantic for me to feel it.
Right.
Because he is always very caring of me. I leave in 2 days to fly to Arizona. He was just here for the weekend, just to spend time with me. So that way we can see each other before I left. And, he is happy to just sit on the couch with me and we do our own thing and we snuggle and it's nice. It is just a very nice experience. So, Callie, I know being Arrow Ace is not easy. It just sounds like it is to most people. So I feel you. I feel you.
Also, just thanks for your kind words, your in-depth thoughts about the mission, and then, of course, your kind words about us sharing our personal stories. It's new for us. It's funny, for all the seasons that we've done the show, we've shared some personal stories, but I feel like this season especially, we've kind of tied a lot of personal trauma and love and exploration to specific stories, to these specific missions, which will come and go as we continue to do the series, but it was a shift for us, and I'm just glad that it's well received by you and by others, as I've heard offline or not in the Discord. So thanks for that. And I'm always happy to share the obnoxious or awkward things that have happened between me and Frankie because it's in the past and we've survived it.
Hell yeah.
I will still never get over the fact that one of your friends, or not friends, but an acquaintance, or maybe it was a listener, was like, "Oh, I ship them." And we're like, "No."
That was when you and I were doing a Magical Girl Burlesque, the first one, and I was kittening for it.
That's right. One of the performers or
one of the
audience
performers
was like, "Oh, I ship this relationship." Like, no.
No.
You're missing very vital context here.
Yes. And then once received, it was like, I still ship their friendship.
Okay, sure.
I
It's
still
another
approve of their friendship.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Fair.
Yeah.
It looks like you have another request within the fan mail area.
I do. Can someone please explain to me what is going on in our Discord thread about flapping and jumping? What the fuck? Respectfully.
So basically, what I can gather is this is Ben and Troidal Power pulling a conversation from other places into our Discord. Apparently, a debate they've had before about dragons flapping versus jumping. Do dragons jump? All of that, I think, is from elsewhere and ended up spilling over into our Discord, as I could tell. And then, of course, Callie getting in on the reverie, as it were.
Yeah, I looked at that and was like, okay. I'm very confused. Especially when I'm tagged in to weigh in. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, you can just say that.
Is this what it is to be old?
I mean, yes. Wait, why are
Matt,
you
is
looking
this
at
what
me
it's
when you
like?
say that? Rude.
Matt, tell me, is this what it feels like? Do you feel like this all the time?
Look, I'm just happy that our Discord is active and that
It is.
is people are engaging in conversation, ridiculous or not. We are grateful for our listeners. We have great listeners, both those active in the Discord and those not. But like, yeah, it was one of those things where it was happening between the hours of like 1 and 3 a.m. My guess is most of these folks were West Coast time or didn't sleep. Because I woke up the next morning to this back and forth and went, like I was tempted to post the GIF of Troy from Community coming back into the apartment and everything's gone with the pizza and everything's gone wrong. Like everyone's fighting and everything's on fire. Because I was very confused.
I believe it was happening morning my time as well.
Yeah, it was just before the next episode released because then when I posted the episode info, I think it was Troy went, yes, back on track. Let's talk about the episode. But
and then they devolved into more. I
know.
think.
Probably. Sounds about right. Look,
very confused.
Activity is activity. Thanks for engaging, y'all, and confusing my co-host.
All engagement is positive engagement?
Technically, yes.
Anyway, let's talk about Fandom Corner.
Let's do it.
So, Fandom Corner, for me, lately, my hyper-focus has been Disney Dreamlight Valley. This came out a while ago. This is not new. Disney Dreamlight Valley has been out for 2 years at least, if not more. But the reason why I want to talk about it today is because I mentioned a bad thing happened to me. I have been very sad as a result. So I have had great difficulty focusing on anything. I keep starting things and then walking away from them because they're too involved and I just can't focus on them. I started like 5 movies and I couldn't even finish them. I thought even, this is a familiar movie, so it should be easier. Nope, couldn't do it. Walked away. So instead, I have been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley because it is very no thought head empty. I walk around, I hang out with my imaginary friends, I water some plants, I put out some furniture, I help people with their problems, and it is so low stakes that it helps me to decompress. So if you're a person who needs that kind of repetitive activity, one that doesn't draw too much on your emotional resources, then farming sims like Dreamlight Valley, Stardew Valley, Coral Island, these are really good places to turn to because it is just small tasks that you can do with very low stakes. And I appreciate that.
That's fair. I mean, you also really like these kinds of games, which helps too.
I do. I really enjoy Stardew Valley. I love Coral Island. Dreamlight Valley, I bounced off of a couple of times. I fell off of it for like a year because there was just not a lot of progress happening at the time that it was released. So now that it's been a while, there's more things for me to do so I can sit and actually advance the plot and meet new characters and things like that, which it makes it a little bit more engaging and a little bit more fun. I recently unlocked Jack Skellington. I have actually completed the story of the game, which I thought was really emotionally thoughtful. It was very much about connecting with your inner child, which I think a lot of people could benefit from experiencing that storyline and seeing what it is like for our inner child to be kind of shoved in a closet while we grow up. There's a lot of really interesting things that went on in it. So I think it was a nice game.
Yeah, I only bring up that you like these games because I, who tend to burn out on these games pretty quickly, would have the opposite effect. The last one I played was a game called Potion Permit on the Switch, which was similar vibes, but you're making potions instead of growing crops. And I hit a wall about halfway through the game and noped out. And that tends to happen with these life sim farming sims for me. It's I'll play them for a while when they're easy, but somewhere around the middle point, they always get ramp up, more complex recipes, ingredients, needs, and I just kind of bounce.
Though I wonder if the added benefit of bringing your favorite Disney pals with you throughout the valley would help in any way. Like you can bring Stitch with you to go mining.
I mean, maybe, but it's the act of activity and the stack of responsibilities that do it.
That's fair.
It becomes a checklist in a way that the same reason I bounced off the Assassin's Creed franchise for a long time and open world games like that. Like once I have a checklist, it's like, and it's long, it's like all I can see is the end of the checklist and go, well, it's going to take me forever to get there. I don't want to do this. I'm going to peace out. It's why I can't replay Skyrim anymore, because I boot up Skyrim, get to that first area after you escape, think about what I need to do to beat the game from that moment and how many hours it's going to take me to get there, and go, no, I'm good. I'd rather do literally anything else.
That's fair. What I like about Dreamlight Valley is there is no kind of end point.
Right.
So you're kind of cherry picking the things that you want to do. So it's not like, yes, it is a checklist. You are not wrong about that. But then again, all video games are kind of
of course,
aren't
sure.
they?
Yeah.
Like they're a series of tasks. But what I like is that I can pick a thing and just be like, okay, I'm going to help Simba with the Dreamlight Tree. And that is going to be the thing that I work on. And then I can do it until I'm bored of helping Simba and I can just go do something else. And I think that is nice and relaxing for me.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that it relaxes you, and I'm glad that you have had this respite from the bullshit that you've been enduring. I have a little fun thing for my fandom corner. This is a brand new game that is out as of the day you are listening. I was lucky enough to get a review code for this game, and while I will have a hopefully longer written review for this 2 weeks from now from when we're recording, because we, time travel, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. I do plan to try and write a review that'll be free to read over on patreon.com/funnygamespod. But I've been playing a game called Fretless, The Wrath of Rifson. Fretless is a turn-based RPG mixed with a rhythm game. The basic story is you play as Rob. You want to enter a battle of the bands, and so you set off to do it in this magical world where there are monsters based on instruments that have come to life, and you have to fight your way through them to get to this battle of the bands. This battle of the bands is run by Rick Rifson, the head of an evil music corporation. And as you play your way through this game, you encounter really cool characters, lots of music-related puns, and the way you fight in turn-based battles is timed hits a la Sea of Stars, a game that we both really love, but everything is done on the rhythm and is musical. And your first weapon you get is a guitar, and as you hit those timed hits on the beat, it changes the music. And what's really fun is very quickly after getting the guitar, you also get a slap bass. And so the battle theme when you're using the acoustic guitar is a folksy acoustic tune. But then when you're fighting with the slap bass, which is the second weapon you get of 4, then it's a funky, bassy bass track that is the battle theme. And so based on the weapon you use to fight these enemies, the music changes, which I think is really neat. It's a fun little twist on this kind of system. And yeah, it's really engaging. The day I got code for the game, I played it for like 6 hours straight. So it really hooked me. If you liked turn-based RPGs, if you are looking for that next thing after Sea of Stars or any other retro game or even Clair Obscur Expedition 33, this I think can whet that palate, especially if you are a fan of music. You get 2 more instruments I won't spoil after the first 2, but each instrument is a different genre and music style, and whenever you use that instrument to fight, the battle theme is always that variant on the battle theme. Then boss battles have their own unique themes as well. It's just really fun, really thoughtful, really goofy. This is the brainchild of Rob Scallion, who's a well-known, or Scallon, who's a well-known YouTuber, has been doing music.
And Onion.
Yeah, he's not an onion. That's why I corrected myself. But Rob has been in the YouTube space doing music-related YouTube videos for a long time, and then him and some buddies got together and was like, what if we took this loose narrative of ridiculous characters we've created for the YouTube channel and made a video game about it? And so they did. And so the game is developed by Ritual Studios, and it is published by Playdigious Originals. It is currently only available on Steam, on PC, but I have heard that they are working on other platforms. Obviously, nothing official to announce, but when we interviewed them back at PAX East earlier this year, they did say they would love to have this game on other platforms. But right now, the focus is PC to get it out there. So if this interests you, even if you can't buy it on PC for some reason, I would wishlist it if you have a Steam account, because that means that it'll show interest above and beyond what the initial purchases are, which helps them sign on to help publish in other places. But I really love this game. I think it's great. Not sure where it lands in my game of the year list, but it's pretty high. Like I said, I've been obsessively playing it basically since the day I got code for it. As of when we're recording, I haven't finished it, but by the time you've heard this, I'll have finished it for sure. And I think it's a really interesting take on fusing rhythm games with another game type. You know, I praised Hi-Fi Rush years ago because of its mix of character action combat with rhythm game. And like, I'm, as a music nerd, will always gravitate towards a game that takes an established genre of video game and mixes it with rhythm game, because I love that kind of musical influence. So definitely go check out Fretless, The Wrath of Rifson. It is available, like I said, on PC right now, and is definitely worth your time if you are a turn-based RPG fan.
Awesome. Okay, so next time.
Yep, next time. Yeah. Next time, we're going to take a break and let you guys listen to the crime podcast that's in our network. It'll be a return of the White Lily Murders, the second part of that ordeal. And definitely tune in to Kirkwall's #1 true crime podcast as we take a break and let them host the next episode.
I mean, it is their #1 true crime podcast, but it is also their only true crime podcast.
It's true. Kirkwall doesn't have a lot of true crime podcasts.
No, nobody in Kirkwall cares about crime except for those two.
That's true, especially since there's a lot of it.
All right. Okay, if you like what you heard here, follow us on social media. We're at ReignitePod on Blue Sky, YouTube, and Instagram. Or you can send us an email at reignitepod@gmail.com. And you can find us on Blue Sky as Frankie B. Writes and DJ Stormageddon. And because it was requested, I am going to emphasize there is no underscore in Matt's username. It is just DJ Stormageddon. Do not include that underscore.
Well, yes, that's also, though, because now my username is my URL. It's djstormageddon.com. That's why. So, like, this bit died for a good reason.
I give the people what they want.
Yeah, of course you do.
And the people want me to talk about underscores for some reason.
I don't understand. Please rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcatcher. It helps us get seen so other people can find us. Seriously, if you are listening and you have a platform that allows rating and reviewing, please do it. It helps us combat the evil algorithm and get more people to join in the fun and listen to this podcast. We really appreciate it. We don't have a Patreon or any way to really send us money other than direct Venmos, Ko-fis, whatever. But like, the best free way you can support this podcast is by rating and reviewing to this podcast on the platform that you have, because again, it helps us get boosted and other people to find the show and join in.
Remember, every rating and review is one more bullet in our gun against the evil algae rhythm, the villain of Space Jam 2.
Boo.
I like Space Jam 2.
Well, you seem to be, I haven't seen it, but you seem to be in the minority.
I liked it. I thought it was fine. It was a good movie. They had a very good Michael Jordan joke in it.
I can't speak to it because I have not seen it.
It was extremely good. We are also members of the Certain Point of View Network. You can visit certainpov.com to find more nerdy podcasts, each with a unique point of view. You can also find a permanent invite link to our Discord server on the website, so you can join the conversation and read everything Callie has to say about our podcast. Eventually, Callie will start her own podcast, talking about our podcast and everything we get wrong.
That's true. Yeah, you can keep an eye out for that, and we will for sure plug it once it exists. See, we're putting it out there, Callie, so you don't have to. But yeah, come join the Discord server. There are a bunch of other conversations going on about video games, TV, movies, music, all sorts of stuff, and some great podcasts to check out besides our own as well. So please come hang out. As for personal plugs, still the usual stuff for me. You can go to djstormageddon.com to find all of the stuff that I do. Fun and Games has a Patreon. If you want to throw a couple bucks at a video game podcast, that's not this one. You can do it for that one. Our lowest tier is $3, but there's also a free tier you can join at no cost, and you can read all the articles I write absolutely free for no money. And then there are more exclusives as you go up the tier list. Beyond that, I don't have anything specific to promote. I'm not doing any conventions probably for the rest of the year, so just check out the stuff we've been working on over there on Fun and Games as well.
As for me, I have taken on the mantle of editing a period drama podcast called Period Drama Debrief. It is not out yet, but it soon will be, featuring Dr. Kate Byrne and Dr. Julie Tadeo. They are specialists in the romance and drama field. They are really cool people, and their first episode is going to be about Rivals, which is an adaptation of a Jilly Cooper romance novel from the 80s. So if that's your jam, keep an eye out for Period Drama Debrief. Also, I'm working on a website where you can find all my podcasts, and the new one that I'm working on that I'm not ready to talk about. You'll also find direct links to purchase the 2 anthologies I've been published in, Caught Alight and Writing from the Heart, which are currently available on Amazon. I do encourage you to buy them, but do remember, I get no money from that.
Yes, but if you want to read Frankie's words and encourage Frankie to write other words, you should still buy those books.
Yes, and if you feel like sending me $1, that's at Frankie B. Writes on PayPal.
We would also like to thank the one and only Case Aiken for developing some amazing t-shirt designs that you can find at certainpov.com or on the Certain POV Teespring. Case also designed each and every episode show art, and it wasn't until after we had aired the episode that I realized that the subtitle of Red for last episode inspired Case to try and make a similar cover to Red by Taylor Swift, which I, as a Taylor Swift superfan, greatly appreciate, but was not the intent with the titling. That's what Varric calls Aveline, but still very well done, Case.
I am not a Swiftie. I do love 1989.
I mean, it's a great record.
It's my favorite, but our theme song is not by Taylor Swift, though. Could you imagine?
I mean, I would
Could
be
you imagine?
I'd be so happy.
We'd like to thank Miracle of Sound, who we think is on par with Taylor Swift, for our theme music. Thank you so much.
Yes. Also, thank you to Red Spinks for our Dragon Age-inspired logo. To see more of his work, you can go to Chaos Does Art on Instagram.
And lastly, we'd like to thank you for listening. I'm Frankie.
And I am Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon. And remember, all Templars or slavers are bastards.
Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this fight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk.
Hello, my name is Aaron. I'm one half of Super Pod Saga, a topical variety video game podcast fueled entirely by nostalgia and unleaded gasoline. Super Pod Saga, we discuss a different video game topic each and every week. We have new episodes every single Monday covering a different video game topic. More than anything, we want to entertain our listeners and make you feel like you're one of the boys, like you're hanging out at a campfire with some of your best zany, caffeine-powered buddies and just talking about your favorite games and all that stuff. Stop on down to Super Pod Saga. It's on every podcatcher there is. If it's not, let me know and we'll get on it. Again, Super Pod Saga, stop on by.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.